I want to talk with you about the 8 biggest business owner pitfalls and how you can either escape or sidestep them altogether. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like the business that you're building has trapped you inside of it? Like you got started to this because you wanted the control. You wanted to be able to build a business on your terms the way you wanted. Yet you find here you are years later, and that control has come with it a price. And the price that you're paying is your continued attendance is mandatory. The business is based on your production. If you're not there to run it day in, day out, there really isn't a business there. And these 8 pitfalls are what cause so many business owners to be trapped or for a business to be limited in a way that it doesn't have to be. You'll be reading through and looking on the site here about all 8 of these pitfalls and some suggestions about how you avoid them. But as you do this, one thing I want to mention here is you need to deal with all 8 of these pitfalls on 3 different levels. It's not enough for you just to kind of look at a way to deal with it, but you've got to deal with it first and foremost on the strategic level. And the strategic level says, what should I be doing about it? So it says, what should I do? What should I focus on? What should I stop focusing on so that I can make sure I'm putting my attention, my resources in the right places? The second layer of dealing with these challenges, these pitfalls, is what I call the execution layer, which is about what are the specific tactics that you're going to use. The how do you implement that strategy? And in addition to that, it's what's the defined accountability structure to make sure that you're consistently doing those things, doing the how to do the what. So the strategic lever says, what do I focus on? The execution layer of solving these problems says, what do I do? Specifically, how do I tactically get this done, and the accountability to make sure that I'm doing it. There's one more layer that's essential though, and this layer is what we call the business development layer. And I don't mean necessarily growing the business as business development is often talked about, but here I mean, are you doing it in a way that's a systematic way of doing it? Are you doing it in a way that's building in the knowledge for how to do the what so that the business owns it, can repeat it and scale it? This is the systems, control, and teams part so that you're not just left with a solution that works one time, but it's a solution that you can use again and again and again that runs in an evergreen manner inside your business. So when you look at these pitfalls, ask yourself, which of these 8 pitfalls is costing you in your business, and what is it actually costing? And then when we talk about solving it, remember, you're going to have to solve it at all 3 different levels. The strategic level of what specific would you need to focus on. The execution level, it says, how are you going to execute? What tactics are you going to use? And the defined accountability to get it done. And the final 3rd layer of that, the business development layer, that says, how do I make sure that I don't just solve this one time, but I build in the systems, the controls, and the cross-trained team to be solving this on an ongoing basis so that the business owns that knowledge of how to deal with this on an ongoing basis. Good luck as you look at all 8 of these pitfalls.